You haven't even opened your eyes yet. It's somewhere between awake and asleep, and your brain has already started. The emails you didn't answer, the conversation that went slightly wrong yesterday, the thing you said you'd do by Friday that you haven't started, the vague dread of another day that feels exactly like the last one. You haven't even gotten out of bed, and you're already behind. And you've been told this is just what mornings feel like. You've been told to drink more water, get to bed earlier, eat better. And maybe those things help. But here's what nobody tells you. The anxiety you feel the moment you open your eyes was not created this morning. It was created last night. In the final moments before you fell asleep, your brain doesn't switch off when you sleep. It processes, consolidates, and essentially runs an overnight update based on the last emotional state you were in before you lost consciousness. And if that last state was stress, anxiety, unresolved thought, or overstimulation, your brain runs that update for 8 hours straight. You don't wake up refreshed. You wake up as the output of whatever was running overnight. There's a 10-second rule that changes this. Not a full night routine, not a meditation practice. 10 seconds before you fall asleep that physically alter what your brain does for the next 8 hours. And I'm going to give you 3 specific versions of it, because the one that works best depends on what's keeping you stuck. But before we get to the rule, we need to look at what's happening in the final hour of your day that's been quietly stealing your tomorrows. Because the rule won't work at full power until you understand what it's replacing. Here's the neuroscience in plain language. Your brain is a prediction machine above everything else. Its primary job is not to process the present, it's to predict the future. And it builds those predictions from patterns, specifically from whatever you have been repeatedly experiencing and feeling. The moments just before sleep are neurologically unique. Your brain transitions through a state called the hypnagogic state, the border between waking and sleep, during which it is unusually plastic, unusually receptive to emotional imprinting. Whatever emotional signal is running in those final seconds is what gets consolidated, reinforced, and literally written deeper into your neural pathways overnight. This is not a metaphor. Neuroplasticity research is consistent on this point. Your brain physically changes its structure based on repeated emotional experience. If you spend your last waking seconds in a low-grade state of anxiety, rumination, or overstimulation, night after night, you are literally training your brain to make that your default waking state. You are not just having a bad morning. You are building a brain that wakes up anxious by design. The 10-second rule is the circuit breaker at the most critical moment. It doesn't require you to fix the anxiety. It doesn't require you to solve the problems. It just requires you to change the signal in the last 10 seconds, long enough to alter what gets consolidated overnight. That's the whole mechanism. And it works because the biology works, not because of willpower or positive thinking. The 7 habits quietly stealing your tomorrow. Stop these first. Before the rule, the awareness. Because the rule works best when you can see what you're up against. Here are 7 things that are likely happening in your evenings right now that guarantee you a harder tomorrow. And most people do at least 4 of these every night without realizing it. Energy thief 1. The adrenaline spike. Consuming high-intensity content right before bed. A thriller, the news, a heated online debate, an intense conversation. All of these activate your sympathetic nervous system. Adrenaline has a metabolic half-life of 2 to 4 hours. If you spike it at 11 p.m. and fall asleep at midnight, your body spends the first hours of sleep clearing that hormonal debt instead of entering deep restoration. Energy thief 2. The overthinking loop. Mentally rehearsing tomorrow's problems in tonight's darkness. The quiet and stillness of the bedroom is when your prefrontal cortex, suppressed all day by busyness, finally activates and starts processing unresolved emotional content. Without a circuit breaker, this becomes a loop. Problem surfaces, creates anxiety, which surfaces more problems. Your brain is not solving, it's spiraling. Energy Thief 3. Dopamine overloading, the final scroll that's costing you deep sleep. Short-form content delivers dopamine hits at a rate no real-world activity can match. When you scroll before bed, you calibrate your brain's reward system to that high-stimulation baseline, and then ask it to switch off. It can't. Your brain needs a gradual de-escalation from stimulation to sleep. The scroll makes that transition neurologically impossible. 4. The serotonin gap. Going to sleep without priming your brain's happiness chemistry. Serotonin is the precursor to melatonin. When your serotonin is low at night, your sleep quality degrades, and your morning mood is already compromised before you wake. Most people try to fix their morning mood in the morning, but by then, the chemistry has already run. The window is the night before. The mental open loop, leaving tasks unfinished inside your head. The Zeigarnik effect. Your brain actively holds unfinished tasks in working memory, cycling through them to ensure they don't get lost. This is useful during the day. At night, it's the engine of the overthinking spiral. Unwritten, uncaptured, unresolved tasks keep the brain's processing loop running when it should be winding down. Energy Thief 6. Comparison anxiety. Checking other people's lives before checking in on your own. Ending your day looking at curated highlight reels of other people's success, relationships, or bodies activates a social comparison circuit that generates inadequacy, a low-grade but persistent stress response. You fall asleep measuring yourself against a metric that isn't real, in a game you were never actually playing. Energy Thief 7. The prediction error. Unconsciously programming your brain to expect a stressful morning. If you have woken up anxious enough mornings in a row, your brain starts predicting it before it happens. The moment you begin to wake, your brain runs its model of what mornings are like and activates accordingly. This is why fixing the night matters more than fixing the morning. The prediction runs on last night's data. Here is why 10 seconds is the right unit. Your brain uses the final 10 seconds of conscious thought before sleep onset as the primary emotional anchor for its overnight consolidation process. This is not the entire sleep cycle, but it is the input that most heavily influences the overnight update. Think of it as the last line of code written before the program runs. You don't need to meditate for 30 minutes. You don't need a perfect routine. You need 10 seconds of a specific, intentional emotional signal right at the edge of sleep. And the signal you choose depends on what's currently stealing your tomorrow. Option A for overthinkers. The thought stopper. How to quiet the brain that won't stop talking. If your biggest problem is the spiral, the looping thoughts, the replaying conversations, the midnight problem solving that leads nowhere, your 10-second rule is the thought stopper. The moment you feel the spiral beginning, you do one thing. Shift your attention completely to a physical sensation in your body. The weight of the blanket, the temperature of the air on your face, the feeling of your feet touching the mattress. Anything specific and sensory. Hold that sensation, not as a thought, as a felt experience, for 10 seconds. Here is the mechanism. Your brain cannot simultaneously process an abstract thought spiral and a specific physical sensation with full attention. The physical sensation forces the prefrontal cortex to disengage from the rumination loop and attend to present moment input instead. The loop doesn't resolve, it pauses. And in that pause, sleep finds a window. Practice this 3 nights in a row, and you will feel it working. It gets faster each time because the neural pathway is being built. Option B for the emotionally exhausted. The serotonin prime. 10 seconds that change what you wake up feeling. If your problem is less acute anxiety and more a persistent emotional flatness, the numb, heavy, nothing feels good state that follows you into every morning, your 10-second rule is the serotonin prime. 10 seconds before sleep, you recall one specific moment from your day in which you experienced even a minor sense of competence, connection, or peace. Not a major win, a real one. You said something that landed well in a conversation. You solved a small problem. You made someone smile without trying. You sat somewhere quiet for a moment and felt okay. Hold that memory in full sensory detail for 10 seconds. Not as an idea, as a re-experienced sensation. Let it register in your chest, not just your head. You are using state-dependent memory consolidation. The emotional state at sleep onset is the state most heavily encoded overnight. You are giving your brain a specific, "this is what today was" signal that includes a real positive data point. Over time, your brain's overnight model of what days are like begins to include this. Your baseline shifts, not because your life changed, because your brain's data set changed. Option C, for the chronically exhausted. The 8-second sleep trick, rewiring the prediction your brain runs every morning. If your problem is specifically that you wake up exhausted, regardless of how long you sleep, if sleep itself feels like it doesn't work on you, your issue is likely the prediction error from Energy Thief 7. Your brain is waking you up in a stress state because it has learned to predict one. And you fix a prediction by changing the model. 8 seconds before you lose consciousness, not earlier, right at the edge, you form one clear, specific visual image of yourself waking up. Not waking up to an alarm, not waking up to get things done, just the sensation of waking up and feeling okay. Eyes opening slowly, body heavy and warm. No urgency, just the first moment of a morning that is fine. 8 seconds. That image, right at the edge. Your brain takes this as its most recent waking up data point and incorporates it into tomorrow's prediction model. It sounds almost too simple to believe, but the reason it works is not mystical. It is the predictive processing model of the brain applied to sleep. You are updating the prediction with better data. The brain wakes you into whatever it predicted. Change the prediction, change the morning. Let's be honest about what this is not. It's not a miracle. It's not going to make your problems disappear or your life feel perfect by Thursday. The 10-second rule is a small, consistent input, and small, consistent inputs compound. In 1 week, you will notice the spiral starting to lose momentum. In 1 month, you will notice that your mornings feel marginally different, less immediately heavy. In 6 months, you will notice that the baseline you used to call your personality, that low-level anxiety, that morning dread, that emotional flatness, has shifted. Not because you worked harder or thought more positively, because you changed the last 10 seconds of several hundred nights. This is neuroplasticity doing what it was designed to do. Your brain is not fixed, it is responsive. It builds pathways based on repetition, and 10 seconds of intentional emotional signal, repeated nightly, is repetition enough to build something real. 5 years of this is a different nervous system. Not dramatically, not overnight, but measurably, undeniably different. Calmer under pressure, quicker to recover from hard days, less likely to be hijacked by the spiral. More likely to wake up and feel like the day is workable before you've even had coffee. That's not a personality trait you either have or don't. That's a brain that was trained, one 10-second rule at a time, to default somewhere better. And you can start tonight, right now. You already know which option fits you. You already know which energy thief you recognize most in yourself. That's enough to begin. Tonight, when you lie down, before you reach for your phone, before the spiral starts, try the option that felt most like you. Just once. 10 seconds. And drop a comment below telling me which one you're trying, A, B, or C. Not just because I want to know, but because writing it down makes it more likely you'll actually do it. Your brain takes written commitments more seriously than mental ones. Use that. Share this with someone you know who says they're tired no matter how much they sleep, or who wakes up anxious before the day is asked anything of them. They probably think it's just who they are. It's not. It's the last 10 seconds of their night. Send them this.